Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schleck. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Go to theathletic.com/down to dunk and get The Athletic for a discounted rate, which I believe is 30% off. It's a great deal. You should go do it. You can go read all kinds of stuff. With me, as always, on Mondays is my good friend, Michele Farah. Michele, what's up?
Well, it's Monday. We are here talking about small market teams, apparently, like very small, that are like clearly tanking.
Yeah.
And thank you for letting us know. We were unaware.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to the Saturday Slam and Jam, you should go check that out. It's on. If you don't even know what it is, there's some people like, I don't even know what that is. It's on the Athletic NBA show. Alex Spears and I do a show every Saturday. You should subscribe to the Athletic NBA show anyways, but you could listen on Saturdays. And we had pretty much an Oklahoma City Thunder-centric show where we decided to dunk all over Mo DeKeel for his just atrocious Thunder takes, but it was almost too easy. I do love Mo. Big shouts to Mo. Mo's a great guy. Typically very smart, but in the last Nerder episode on Friday wasn't so much, so he just teed us up perfectly to have a nice little Thunder segment. So go check that out if you haven't already. Let's see where to start. Let's start with these jerseys. They released the look of these new jerseys. They actually have them displayed on this mannequin that doesn't have a head or arms, so it's hard to know what the jersey will look like with a head and arms attached to it. But they're all white. What is it?
Is it art? Really? They will look terrible.
You don't like them?
No.
You don't like white and gray?
No. Can we have a jersey that is like the other fans want to buy, not just OKC's fans? Like, for example,
they've had some. Yeah. Last year's City jerseys, I was surprised. I didn't love them, like kind of the race car looking ones.
Yeah.
But like I talked to Blake Murphy, who's still covers the Raptors, but used to work at the Athletic. He loved them. They were one of his favorite jerseys in the league last year. I was surprised, and like Blake Murphy's like a cool guy, like knows stuff, cool guy. And I was like, wow. I said I didn't even know.
I have a friend who is like all into design and stuff like that. He worked also for some NBA projects. I don't remember exactly, but I'll find it. He did our logo at Chartside, and he always tells me like I could do better. And I believe him. No, to me, they should just do something that pops a little bit more. And hey, maybe it's surely on brand. Like,
I
just want something that is more like, I don't know, it's either traditional or something that pops, something that looks like the some like underwear color. Not great.
I did like the teal like Native American ones I had the year that PG was here. Those were cool. That was like the PG Schroeder year. I liked those. I thought those were cool. I wish they would have done a court, because they're doing a court for these two, which just seems odd. It's like, okay, let's wait till like we get the most bland uniform that we've ever made that has two colors, but it has multiple colors just because the Loves logo is so giant that it's just going to stick out like a sore thumb on there. But let's wait till that one, and then we'll grayscale the court. And I think it'll actually look kind of cool.
Yeah.
And they're going to use this on Friday nights down at the Paycom Center. But it's just funny that this is the one you do it. I wish they would have done it for the Native American style jersey. I think that would have been pretty cool to
but
have
that
there.
like or no like, that was significant. Like that shirt was. Yeah. This one, I don't know. I don't see the concept behind it. I just don't.
Well, it like
Like
melds like all the jerseys and all the styles that they've ever had into one. There's like a press release about it that talks about why they did what they did, but it's
okay,
Shea said he liked it in a video produced by the Thunder. So
nice. The keyword here is produced. You can do it. Like you know better than me. You can do anything these days.
You can do a lot of things. You can do some
Yeah,
things. Mike Muscala's reaction was just really funny to me. I think Joe Masato tweeted out the video, but they have it. It's out there too. The Thunder have tweeted it out as well. So go check that out. Interesting. Just something else for you Thunder fans. Some people really like them. Other people don't. I still want to wait until I can see it with my own two eyes. I want
sure.
to see the jersey with arms and a head as a part of it before I make any judgment. We've only seen it with legs. That's just I don't
Yeah,
know.
but that's fine. I'm sure that when the Miami Vice jersey came out,
Yeah,
anyone would want that. I did.
it's
I
true.
thought
They're
hard
cool.
about getting one.
What would you but like what's like something like Miami Vice that Oklahoma City has that would be I mean, that's really more of a question for me than it is for you.
Yeah, I was about to say I have no idea. But hey,
I don't
but
know.
it's not.
I don't know what it would be.
It was just cool, like the colors,
Yeah.
it was just a jersey that, I mean,
Yeah.
that anyone, like at a certain point, you don't care about the team. It just that looks so cool that
True.
you just buy it,
True.
and that I didn't have the same impression on the white and gray.
Yeah.
Maybe it will
Yeah.
look amazing on them.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
They sure Poku wasn't in the video. I feel like Poku would just look clear in this jersey. It would just be
Yeah.
yeah. Be very interesting to see Poku wearing this jersey. But anyways, something new for you Thunder fans. That's kind of fun. New stuff is fun. And let's take a look at the standings real quick. In the regular standings, the Thunder are tied with one win in the Western Conference. It's the Pelicans have one, Houston has one, and the Clippers have one. The Thunder play the Clippers tonight in Los Angeles. So it's a very interesting game. It's one that I think a lot of Thunder fans would say, park the tank for a moment and let's
Hmm.
go try to win this game because it's actually beneficial for the Thunder to win this game against the Clippers because the Thunder will likely just end up not having very many wins anyways.
Hmm.
And so if you're a Thunder fan, you want them to have wins that actually mean something. Like I
Yep.
don't give a rip about getting the win at home against San Antonio on Sunday, where it's a good thing that the Spurs aren't playing the Thunder on a Friday night with their gray, dark gray jerseys to blend in with the light gray and the gray. Like there's too much gray. So don't let San Antonio play in OKC on a Friday night, number one. But I don't care about that win against San Antonio. Don't even get it. Leave that win alone, Thunder. Go get this one tonight. And it actually means something. And obviously, the team is going to try to win every game they play. I know
Hmm.
the coaching staff wants to win every game they want. I know the team isn't designed to win. I know. But still, for your rooting interests only, root tonight for the Thunder to win because the Clippers are likely going to get it together at some point as long as Paul George stays healthy.
Yep.
They're probably not going to play this poorly. They've lost some close games. I don't anticipate them, if they remain healthy, to have such a bad record. But if you can help them have a bad record, Thunder, go do it.
Yeah.
This is a relatively winnable game. The Clippers have not played great basketball so far.
No, even if their net rating is not that bad, they're not like they don't have the net rating of a team that is winning just 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5.
No.
Whereas OKC clearly has a net rating of a team that is winning 1 out of 6,
Mm-hmm.
in par
Yes.
with Detroit and the Magics, and the Magic, and also, well, just about them. The other
Yeah.
ones have like lesser egregious net rating. So I want to see though the effect, and this cannot be clearly stated in one game, or we'll need a little bit more. But it was stark, the home away effect so far. Like when they were home, they had a different approach at the beginning, and on the road, not so much. The 3-point percentage are extremely skewed right now, and I wonder if that is just young players play better at home, role players play better at home, and when they are on the road, it's just Shea, and if Shea doesn't go like full throttle, then the team is just what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, something that might prevent the Thunder from playing well tonight is Lou Dort is out with a shoulder contusion. Shouts to James Anderson in the chat for cluing us in on that. So it's a pretty big deal when one of your competent players that will help you win games is going to sit out. Who would you slide in to the starting lineup if you were Mark Daigneault?
Kenrich.
Yep, that's the correct answer. Ding, ding, ding. Who are our other candidates?
Nobody really. I mean, to me, you just start him. The only other possibility to me is to maybe you start Pokusevski, but I believe
they're not going to. I just don't believe they would actually do that. I mean, to me, it's the candidates, judging from what we've seen so far, is Kenrich or Teo.
Yeah, or maybe Ty.
Maybe Ty. I would actually like to see what Ty would do in the rotation. By the way, I know like there's the Maladon, and Daigneault may be saying it wrong, but he calls him Maladon too. So just throwing that out there. That's all. But yeah, I would say it's probably between those three.
I won't help you pronouncing a French name better.
Huh?
I won't help you pronouncing the French name better. I was just... You can disrespect that pronunciation as many times as you want.
Okay.
Music to my ear. I will never let you say Banchero, though. You need to say Banquero.
Banquero. Okay.
Yes.
I can do that. Gosh. I can't even talk about him. I just refuse to talk about him. I can't even do it. I won't do it. Can't do it. I would say that Teo's the sneaky guy that probably might squeeze in there the starting lineup, but I think Kenrich makes the most sense, especially playing against this team. Like you want to start, like Lou would have started on Paul George.
Yes.
And the only other guy that you feel like you could put on Paul is Kenrich. And so they probably put Kenrich in the starting lineup and play him big minutes against PG. And which Kenrich might be a better matchup than Lou just because he's a little bit bigger. Not that like Lou like gives up the only thing Lou gives up is height. Like that's the only thing.
Yes.
Strength wise, like, he's crazy strong. He'll get up in your grill. So it's not. I'm not saying that Kenrich is better, but I think that makes the most sense. Just start Kenrich, stick him on Paul George, and see if you can get something going, and then you just like try to give Reggie Jackson the ultimate green light because he's been really, really struggling out the gate for this team. I mean, I think he's shooting like in like the 30s, like low 30s from the field, which is just a nice fat regression to the mean there from the playoffs for Reggie Jackson. Like the contract year, Reggie was great. This season, 14 points on 31% from the field, 29% from three. He's taking almost 10 threes a game, shooting 29%. Wow. You want to know why they're losing? Like that's a pretty nice indicator of why they're losing. And then Eric Bledsoe, 26 minutes per game, shooting 37% from the field, 18% from three.
Wow.
I mean,
this is like unpredictable.
Who could have predicted such a thing?
Yeah, maybe not to this degree, but the fact that you have 2 point guards that are like very, very streaky, it's an issue. Back on the Dort on Paul George, I think that it's not bad to have a little bit more size on a guy like Paul George. I think he's a guy that can easily shot on someone else's head. Like if he has Like if he can see the basket, that is much better for him. And so maybe Kenrich can do something. We'll see. Paul is like scorching hot right now, so I
Yeah.
fully expect him to go just off because OKC does not have any rim protection at all, and he can do anything.
No.
I mean, we can criticize Paul for like a lot of stuff, but that season when he had it, that MPP voting thing, he was insanely fun to watch. Like
He's very good.
we were like having
Smooth as
like
they come.
yeah, like we were just in awe of Paul, and we had to find multiple reasons not to be extremely mad at Russ for part of the season. But that moment was just, he was just insane. He was just eating everything. He was just like playing like over his head, and it was so much fun. So, and he's kind of a player that type of player, those smooth guys. That is probably why, and this is like such a weird translation, and it's such a weird not translation is not the word. I always miss the word. Anyway, that's why I want to see Wiggins on the court. He's not
Yeah.
Paul George, not really at that level, but I think that, I mean, I like when he plays because he's smooth, and we miss
He's
that kind
smooth.
of player in OKC on this roster. I don't think that they have this guy, tall wing that can move off screens, and just shoot outside from the outside. That is something that I think we miss.
Yeah, without a doubt. Wiggins will get his chance. I feel very confident about that, just because, and Mark's been been blatant about it. People ask him about, like, well, what's the second unit gonna do, or what, tell me about this, about the rotation. He's like, there's no rotation. There's no second unit. Like, that's not a thing with this team. And to me, it's very good, because it's a big step toward like development only, type of stuff, where he's using, and it's all very intentional. It's all very well thought out, because I think that at some point, we, as fans and observers of this team, think that like just getting minutes period is like a good like teacher of the game. But Mark demands certain things of these players, and if they don't do the things he's asking them to do, he won't let them play big minutes.
Yeah.
And I promise you that Mark Daigneault wakes up and goes to bed every single day thinking about development. Like, that's like his thing. That's what he wants to do. And there's a lot of intentionality that goes on. And just handing minutes over to players is a thing that he's obviously been unwilling to do it, which hopefully it'll be good for some players, and it may be bad for others. I mean, not everybody is going to develop into something here in the organization. Like Baisley, I don't know what he will end up being, but Mark, played him like 18 minutes the other night just because he wasn't doing the things he wanted him to do. And then the night that he was, like, he played well against the Lakers. He played him big time minutes. So I think that's kind of the right way to do it. And he's talking about like eating your broccoli and having your Skittles whenever you earn them, kind of thing. And it's just, I think that he's really trying with this group to balance what's good for development, what's bad for development, and what are the right habits you need to have, and what are the wrong ones. And he's trying to weed those bad habits out of a lot of these players, because you could just put Poku out there for 30 minutes a night, every single night, like they kind of had to at the end of last season, when it was just atrocious basketball every single night. And I think that Mark might even say, like, I don't know exactly what that was teaching him. He got experience, he got reps, but I think that he's spending the beginning part of this season teaching, here are the things that we need from you. You have to do these 3 things. And if you do these 3 things, then minutes will open up for you. So I'm interested to see what that looks like over the coming weeks. We have just the tiniest sample size of data. It's almost just useless. I'm going to go through some stats and stuff here in a little bit, but it's all with like the entire salt shaker of salt. It's not. This isn't stuff that we should take to the bank. This isn't stuff that you should be going around telling people about. Josh Giddey's passing or this or that, or is this a turnover or whatever. Like, there's some impressive stuff in there, certainly. And there's also some really bad stuff in there for other guys. And we need 20 to 30 games to really suss out, like, okay, well, this is real. Or like Poku's shooting is really not coming along. Or Giddey's passing really is in this elite class. Like, amongst forwards, he's been one of the best passers in the league. Will that continue? I mean, I think that it definitely could, but I'd like to just see more.
Yeah, I completely agree. I did an entire question of the day on Poku and Baisley. I'll give like a sneak peek here. I think that I want to see more of the reasons. I would love to know more of the reason why Baisley is ahead. Maybe it's a practice thing. Maybe it's maybe there are assignments that Poku misses when he's on the court, but I don't see the good from Baisley. I saw the game against the Lakers, but again, if you need 8 threes regularly in order to be effective, I don't know if that is the role that OKC needed that spot. And to me, having a better like spot up shooter, which like saying that Poku is better than Baisley is kind of probably reaching a little bit, but
yeah,
but you know what I mean. Like the shot looks so much better, and I think that Baisley can be your like guy off the bench that creates stuff, like the Clarkson guy. I never liked a guy like Clarkson in any team, but in Utah, he makes sense off the bench. He creates. He's not afraid. He's getting better at being efficient, and maybe this is the role for Baisley, like a guy that can create and take his own shot, that can lead a transition. But when you have starters around, you don't need the ball in your hands. Like if the defense is leaving you open on an island, like ask you why. And I know that they will probably do the same with Pokuševski, but Poku at least, I don't know, I trust him more as a spot-up shooter and a passer. And I think that those two skills are better with the current roster. Maybe it's just the defense. Maybe it's just the time. They don't want to give up on Baisley that soon. But I don't know. Like I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced of the choice. I'm not convinced that this is maximizing Poku's development path. But hey, what do I know? I'm here, and Mark sees him every single day. So, but I would like to know more about that. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, I'm interested too, and I think we'll have more answers with time. And the truth is, like, this whole team's not shooting well. Full stop. They're as a team, they're 29% from 3, and some of that's like it's pretty astonishing. Like Shea's shot 42 threes in these 6 games, which is great. Only 33% for him. He got really got going against the Lakers, but has kind of struggled in every other way. And really, the only guys that have shot it well from 3 are Kendrick at 40%, 6 of 15. He continues to very much impress from deep, even though it's not a lot of attempts. It's still good. JRE, I guess I'm going to call him JRE. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Just leave me alone about that for just a little bit. He's shooting 46%. He's 6 of 13 from 3, as is Mike Muscala, 6 of 13. So, and then everybody else is pretty bad. Like Trey Mann, 33%, Bedrum, 25, Poku, 23, Lou, 22, Baisley, 17, Teo's 2 of 12. Lots of struggle. If you want to look at 2 things, if you just want to say, what are the 2 things that are keeping the Thunder from winning games? It's a 3-point shooting. It's the free throw shooting. They haven't been very good, 72% overall. Like, that's not great. It's fine. And then the defense. The defense is not good. The interior defense in particular is not ever going to be good this season. which feels like it's a design, like a mastermind designed this team to get a top pick. And
Yeah.
you look at some of the guys that are available at the top, and some of those guys got to fill that hole at center. It's a pretty, to me, it's going to be really interesting to see where everything ends up. But if they can end up in the top 3, I think that's what you want, really. Top 2.
Yeah.
Give me a top 2 for OKC in this draft. And, I think that you find yourself in a very favorable scenario. And if the Clippers can't get it together, maybe you get 2 top 10 picks in this draft and then really give yourself a chance.
Like 7 and 8. Sweet.
Yeah, great. Speaking of top 10 picks, Jalen Smith had his 3rd-year option declined by the Suns.
Such a great
moly.
Pick. Wow.
Who could have seen that coming?
That is though, like, embarrassing. Like,
it's bad.
Nobody mocked him there. Nobody.
No. I think I had him in at like 29 or something.
28.
Like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because he's a big man that maybe will be able to shoot, maybe. And you draft him at 10. That with 8 on there, and with plans of getting, they probably already got Sharch, or it was the off season. Like, what are you doing? Like,
they had Sharch already. Yeah,
it's they probably got in Kaminsky. I don't remember. Like, they it's so bad. Like, it's not that. But imagine, like, we said it many times. Imagine Tyrese was there. Like,
well, let me read the list of players that they could have had.
Yeah,
what about Devin
please.
Vassell? You think Vassell could have helped? Like, yeah, Vassell's good. Vassell's good. Halliburton, Kyra Lewis would have at least been a nice backup point guard option. Aaron Nesmith would have been great. Cole Anthony, I understand. Cole has been actually pretty good for the Magic this year. Like, at least he's like a spark of something. You're not denying his option. Beef stew, Isaiah Stewart. Nice. Poku at 17. Poku wouldn't play for the Suns, but at least he'd be this guy that would sit at the end of the bench. He'd be like, the possibilities are endless. That's kind of what we do with him. Sadiq Bey, Precious Achua, Tyrese Maxey. I mean, RJ Hampton is another one of those, like, boom or bust type of guys. Emmanuel Quickly would have been helpful. Jaden McDaniels. Like, can you imagine Jaden McDaniels on that Suns team?
Yeah.
Super good. Desmond Bain at 30. Like, obviously, you're not taking Bain at 10, but why did you take Jalen Smith at 10? Like, the Bain and Jalen Smith were going about the same spot in these mock drafts.
Yeah.
It's insanity. It's bad.
We
thought it was bad at the time, but people were like, whoa, hold off. They took a guy they shouldn't have taken in another draft, and so we got to hold off. And the Suns are like, yeah, we've seen enough. Suns have seen enough. We're done with Jalen Smith. It's just rare to have an option declined. I wonder how many times an option has been declined for a top 10 pick in the draft.
I don't think
it can't be that many.
Yeah, I don't think that this is even related to talent. It has to be something else. Like, he is 21. It's too early to give up. It's way too early.
Yeah, perhaps.
Like, it has to be something else. Like, I was checking.
Maybe not. Maybe not, though. Like, we watched him. He's kind of stiff.
Yeah, I know. But still, like, he's a cheap contract. Well, not very cheap, but you can trade him.
$4.5 million on a team that's about to pay the tax for the first time in forever.
But like, trade him to OKC for nothing. Like, for nothing.
Okay, so
for
go get him for nothing now. Anyways, like, he'll be a free agent. Like, sign him to a minimum deal.
Yeah, but come on, like,
for
owners, like general managers do that all the time. Like, give me a favor, like, make me a favor here. I will, like, come on. That like, they could have gotten something useful. Like, take back Ty Jerome, like, something like that.
I'm not giving back. We're not giving you Ty Jerome for Jalen Smith. Give me a break.
What is the value of Ty Jerome? Like, a second?
I don't know. He's awesome and friends. He's got friends on the team, McKelly.
Yeah. Isaiah Roby.
Friendship. There's friendship there.
Come on. Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm not trading my friendship for Jalen Smith. I'm not doing it. Also, he might protect the rim a little bit. I don't want that.
That is the problem. Yes,
He might actually block some
that is the
shots.
real problem.
He could Moses Brown himself into a trade. You
Yeah.
know, not approaching that. Okay, we're gonna talk stats. We're gonna look at a couple different sites and a couple different areas of statistics for the Thunder that frankly don't matter, but we'll talk about it anyways right after this break. And we're back after that quick break. Kelly, I wanted to just take a look at cleaning the glass and just some stats that are out there. I put a few of these out there this morning, but turns out the stats think that Josh Giddey's pretty good at passing. He's in the
You don't say.
for a wing, he's in the 100th percentile for assist percentage and for assist to usage ratio as well, which means he is pretty much the best.
Yeah, I mean, it's I like passing stats, as you may very well know. I think that there are still. I mean, he's at the beginning of his passing journey in the NBA. I think that, like, but his vision, his timing, the timing is the accuracy is not there. Not to like, he's not LeBron James in terms of accuracy. He's not, just not. But the fact that he can like do some of the passes already, like the pass that he had to I think it was to Kenrich. It was just such a beautiful thing. Like, it's extremely hard to do those things
It
in
was a
rhythm.
bullet, man. It was a bullet. Like that thing
Yeah,
was
but in
unbelievable.
motion. In motion. Like, it was
Yeah.
dribbling and he like did that. Like, what in the world? Like, this is not a regular like passer. I remember when we all saw LaMelo Ball in NBL, and he was a fantastic passer. Like,
Yep.
I don't know why the hype for Giddey was not as high. I mean, he is not the scorer that LaMelo is today,
Mm-mm.
but he can do stuff that LaMelo couldn't in
Yeah.
terms of passing. Like, he may be a better passer than LaMelo. He had
So the stats so far this season says that he is by a very narrow margin. Yeah.
He may be. Like, LaMelo is a great passer.
Yeah.
But like Giddey, boy, he does a few. He can do like stuff that better in a basketball game, and he's not just like throwing the ball here and there just for the sake of trying to make the highlight reel. He's making very, very good passes that are very simple, like nothing fancy, just timing, just finding the right angle, finding the right moment to throw that pass. It's just he's just very good, very, very good. And LaMelo has something that probably Giddey will not have in his entire career. He is a guy that can, in one dribble, can create so much separation. Giddey is not there yet, but he uses angles and he uses his like tall and strong body to do stuff. He's more similar to Luka in that. In the, again, not saying he's as good as Luka, but if you look at how Harden, Luka attack pick and roll, they use their body in order to put the defender on one side and leverage the fact that they can dribble with either hand. And this is something that Giddey already does. This is why he can get to the rim. Like, if you look at him playing and you say, wow, he's there. How he did it that way, like using his body to put the defender on the side, and he's strong enough to keep him there. Like, and again, he's not equal to LaMelo in terms of like ability to create space. After not to Shea. Like, Shea is a master on creating space. But it's there. Like, the passing, it's really there, and to me, it's I don't see that going away.
Yeah. Yeah, he does have special vision, and that's something that we had was pretty clear. And the stuff that made you question Giddey heading into his first NBA season are the shooting, the ball handling in particular that needs to tighten up, and the defense. And then, he's shown flashes of all of those being better. I thought that his dribble has actually been a little bit better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
He will get better. He's not atrocious. He's still just has got to kind of recalibrate a little bit and tighten up his handle. But you know who else had to do that once he got to OKC was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He was not great at getting to his spots using the dribble at first. It took him time. And the Thunder and Shai, with Shai's work ethic should be like number one on this list. Like Shai was willing to put in the work to make it happen. Next is the Thunder's investment in him. And, I even asked Mark, I gave Mark a chance after the Warriors game to just kind of gush about Josh Giddey. And he talked about things he did well and ended it with man, he's still got a really long way to go to get to where he wants to be. And I feel like Josh has already been really good. And I think, there's excitement, throughout the league about him. But he's got a ways to go to be the kind of player he wants to be. And I think Josh knows that. And the team knows that. And I think it's reason to be excited because if I think ultimately, I don't think as somebody that's watching the team, you'd really want Josh to be even your second best player on your team. But if Josh Giddey's your third or fourth best player on your team,
whoa. Why not the second? He just started.
I understand. I'm just saying that if he is your third or fourth best guy, then I think you have a title team.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because I think that Shai can be one or two. Ideally two.
And
if they were able to get a guy in this draft or the following draft, that was oh my gosh, he's your number one.
Yeah, that's probably not going to be this one, by the way. But anyway.
In this next draft, it's very possible that it's not. I mean, if somehow the Thunder are able to get their hands on Wembanyama,
Yeah. Yes, those kind of guys.
If that were to happen, and I don't think the Thunder will be as bad as they are this year, next year, just because they'll have another year of development. More players will come in, there will be more talent here. But if you get Pelicans lottery luck, and Wembanyama ends up on this team, then I think you have a team that could win the whole thing. Or at least you have the potential to win the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Because hopefully you get somebody good in this draft that can be one of your top four guys. You already have Shai and Giddey, and then you add somebody else on there. And then you're talking about a top 4 or 5 on your team that would start for anybody. I think Josh Giddey within the next 2 or 3 years will be a player that I think would start on almost any team because he can play 1 through 3. I think he's going to be strong enough to guard some 4s, later on in his career. I think he's just plug and play wherever you need him to be. And hopefully the shooting comes along a little bit because that will be a swing skill for him. And another reason why I'm just not confident that he could be your number 2 guy.
But it's way too early.
I know, but what am I supposed to talk about, Michele? I know it's early. I know it's early.
I don't know, passing, that level of passing, that is unique. And when
it's
you have
so rare,
unique,
it is so rare. I mean, you look at the list,
yeah, and here in the chat, someone says he's tall Rubio. Yes, but that is the least of the results, being tall Rubio. To me, if you he's already there. It's not that he's going to drop below. What is Rubio that Giddey is not? What is Rubio today that Giddey is not today? Better defender? Yeah, maybe.
Giddey is a way more confident scorer. And it's to
Yeah.
me, like
Yeah.
Rubio has never, ever, ever been
Yeah.
as confident of a scorer as Giddey is today. And Giddey's going to grow into his role more. He's going to become a more polished scorer. I believe that will happen just based on the work ethic, everything you hear about the kind of person that he is. It would almost be shocking if he didn't become like at least a decent level NBA scorer. Like I would be pretty surprised if he didn't become that. And I think people thought the same thing of Rubio, but Rubio came in really, really raw, and it was just like a guy that could defend and run the offense. And Rubio was a little bit older too when he came
Yeah.
over than Giddey is
Yeah,
today.
yeah. In Europe, Rubio was amazing, and he's still amazing when he plays Eurobasket.
Yeah, yeah.
But
He
the
was
point is,
he was
like,
so good in this past
yeah,
summer, so good.
yeah. But the point is, to me, like, Giddey is an elite passer. Giddey will make mistakes, yes. But if you think that the career path of Giddey is becoming Rubio, it means that you are drawing like a line that is slightly up, but slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is again like a worst case scenario, or like very like very like,
That's the basement of what Giddey's
yeah,
going to be.
exactly,
And
exactly.
the thing is, the thing that separates it though, like don't act like saying a 6'8" Rubio is like something like that's not good. If Rubio was 6'8", he didn't play for all the team. He didn't bounce around like he did. He's
Yeah, well,
probably still on the Jazz
yeah,
if he was 6'8".
yeah,
The problem with Rubio is that Rubio can only play guard
yeah.
like that.
Point
And
guard.
the thing, yes, and the thing with
He's not
Giddey,
even versatile. Yeah,
yeah, Giddey can play lots of positions and will
yeah,
get stronger and will be able to play 1 through 4 in his career. That will happen. And that kind of player, even if that's all he becomes, is a starter on a good team
yeah,
because of
yeah.
all that. You don't have to. The thing with Rubio is like you're just limited. Like, he limits what
Yeah.
you can do. He limits the
No,
flexibility of your lineup.
yeah, like say that he doesn't become a better scorer than what he is right now. Great. Say that it doesn't become a better passer. Yeah, I think he has a place in the league anyway, which is what
Yeah,
Rubio is
no
doing.
doubt.
So, to me, it's
Yeah.
just like, yes, that is the floor. Um, and hey, if he doesn't progress, that is an outcome. I'm not saying that he will improve, but the point to me is what we are seeing right now are things that can translate to the future. I mean,
Yep.
I named three things that are there and to me are there to stay. How he plays in pick and roll in terms of taking guys off the dribble to the rim. That is something that I see him doing against Miles Bridges, against lesser defenders, against anyone. He
Mm-hmm.
he went at the rim against Gobert. Like, you don't do those things by chance.
Mm-hmm.
The second is the passing, and we all know. The third is the rebounding. He's a plus rebounder
Yep.
for his size. Like,
Yep.
he really has a nose for them. And the more you play him, the more you will see that. Especially if you play him against a certain kind of defend of other players. Like, he's usually on the perimeter. If he's not, then he may be a little bit more effective on that. So those three skills are enough for me to say that, yeah, the floor is pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
But the ceiling, like, I didn't expect him to be that good at shooting. I bet Jay that he will be a sub 30% shooter, and I still believe that is the likeliest outcome. But
Yeah.
the motion doesn't look as bad as it did over the first few games. He's already better. Like, he's already quicker. That I didn't expect. And so, to me,
Mm-hmm.
putting a ceiling on Giddey, like, no, no ceiling right now. Let's not put anything right now. It's very
Yeah.
hard to project.
Yeah. I think that's the smart way to handle it as of today. Is that we've seen 6 games. Let's see a little bit more
Yeah,
before we go anywhere else. Let's just continue on Josh. He currently leads all rookies in assists per game at 5.7 for the class. He's 5.7 to 2 turnovers is quite impressive for a rookie.
Mhm.
Like Jalen Suggs is 4 assists to 3.3 turnovers, not quite as good as Giddey, and then like nobody else is close to even 5 assists
Yeah.
that Giddey's at per game. And just think about what we talked about earlier. Just think about if he had teammates that were making shots.
Mhm.
That would help quite a bit if you had just a team that was ready to score or ready to hit open threes. I feel like I've seen it a million times where he throws to a wide open Baisley in the corner, and Bays isn't able to cash in.
Yeah.
That's probably something that we'll see quite a bit of.
Do you remember when in the bubble Mike Green used "cash me out" as when Baisley made threes?
Yes.
That
Gosh, that
was
feels like
so
a
great.
lifetime ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Feels
It
like an
feels like
absolute
years ago.
lifetime ago. That's
It was
it almost
such a
just
great.
seems
I love Mike Breen. The thing that
Green
sucks
is
the
the
most
best.
about this season is not having national television on your team, like having Mike Breen commenting the Thunder. That is something that I
Yeah.
really miss. Doris Berg, come on, give me like a few of
It's
those.
gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a minute, McKelly, before
Yeah.
we have it again. But in time. I did want to look at a stat that I felt like we tracked a lot last year, and it was just drives per game from Shea.
Hmm.
He's second in the NBA in drives per game at 22 and a half. Malcolm Brogdon actually leads the league in drives right now at
Hmm.
24 per game. Some of that's by complete necessity for Brogdon
Yeah.
because they've had so many injuries and are really kind of struggling. But the rest of the leaders, John Morant is just behind SGA with
Hmm.
21. Trae Young is fourth. Luka Doncic is fifth, and then Westbrook is sixth with 18.7. So if you're wondering if Shea is still elite with his just ability to drive the basketball, he is. He's doing he's doing the same stuff. He's doing the exact same stuff, which is just good to see.
Yeah.
Um,
And the part that is lacking maybe today is like, and it was apparent then as soon as he had spacing around him, he was much better at that. The
yeah,
part that is lacking is just like the percentage from three, and that will come.
yeah,
I am sure that it will come. But it's amazing that without like he doesn't have talent around him, and yet
no,
he's able to get A's whenever he wants, which is just insane.
yeah. Uh, talk about potential assists. Josh Giddey's averaging 10 potential assists per game.
Yeah, on top of the ones
SGA,
that are actually assists.
yep. And then
Yeah,
potential assists for Shea is 10.3, so he leads the team
yeah,
in that category. So, and then, yeah, I mean, it's something to continue to watch for with Giddey.
yeah,
Is that he, to me, is somebody that's going to create good shots. And over the next several years, like, can the Thunder find guys that are going to capitalize on those shots that are generated? And that's why I ultimately really believe in Kenrich and keeping Kenrich here because he's a smart cutter. We talked about that cut that he made to the basket where Josh
yeah.
found him. He's shown the ability over the last season and then just the few games so far this season to hit threes. I don't know if that continues. I have no idea. The shot looks good. I don't have any reason to believe other than just the past, that won't
Hmm.
continue. Uh, but to me, I feel like I've said this a lot lately, but I just really do believe that the minute you trade Kenrich, you're like a year or 2 years away from trying to find Kenrich again.
Yeah,
And to me, you might as well just keep him. If you're going to lose, if you're going to be in the bottom 3 in the standings, you might as well just keep him because I do think that he's a guy that can help you win later on. So like if they just kept him, they gave him an extension, they gave him a new contract, whatever you need to do.
yeah.
And then when your
I
team's
think it
ready
will
to
happen.
compete and he's coming off the bench for you, and he would have I was talking to special guest Royce Young about this the other day. Like, Kenrich would have closed games for those Westbrook Durant teams. They were like counting on like bad Randy Foy. You know, they were counting on Derek Fisher.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, you remember what a big deal it was that the Thunder got Corey Brewer? Like, boy, that was a
Sadly, I
big
do.
deal. That was a big deal. And
The
remember when he
giraffe.
got hurt? Remember when he got hurt? And
Yeah.
everybody was like, "Oh my, what are they gonna do without Corey Brewer?" Well, they were gonna lose with or without him. It didn't really matter. But
Yeah.
if Kenrich Williams was the guy to have those minutes instead, like, just keep him, because
Yeah.
finding those guys has eluded the Thunder for years.
Yeah. And this is
Like,
why I think it's smart also to keep around a guy like Muscala. That will not be a
sure.
closer. But if he's willing to stick like a couple of years and sign, like,
Oh, he's willing. I mean, I would be shocked if something flipped for him. He loves it here. Loves it.
yeah, and yeah, he can be the guy. Like when everything settles, I think he will be the guy that plays 15 minutes off the bench, 10, 15 minutes off the bench, provides spacing, provides versatility on offense, and yeah, he's just useful. And but with Kenrich, I think he can be a little bit more than that. He can be the anchor of the second unit. I mean, I love when teams have a second unit that can really like put defense on the court. Like this is why Iguodala and Livingston were so great for Golden State, because when they were on the court, like they were amazing defensively. And if you can build an identity like that with a guy like Kenrich that can also shoot the basketball, like just you're right, keep him around. It doesn't make too much sense to trade him away, because you will never get the value. That is always the problem with Kenrich and guys like that. Of course, if they give you, like, if you have pick number 4 and like whoever has number 2 says, well, you give me Kenrich, you can get to 2. Clearly you do it. But no one will
The
ever.
value's not there. Yeah.
No. That is the point. I mean, if you have a guy that is worth like a late first slash for early second, it's extremely hard to recoup that value. Like,
yeah, because the thing is that once they're ready to go, they're going to be using the same pick that you got for Kenrich to try to get Kenrich back.
Exactly. If he wants to stay, let him stay. Pay the guy maybe $1 million more per year. Who cares? Those are money that you can spend.
Would you shy away from paying him 4 years, $24 million?
No.
Would you shy away from?
No.
I mean, to me, that's not even that high. To me, that's like outrageously reasonable for
That
a
is
guy
what,
that's going
yeah,
to be in your top 8.
Singler got, like a little bit less because the cap is a little bit higher. Yeah, it's fair.
This is your chance to redo the Singler deal and do it right.
Yeah,
a player that can actually play.
You can't do a deal like that without being mad.
And again, Alex and I talked about this 2 weeks ago, but like he could be the Nick Collison of this era.
Yeah, I know. I fully agree. He can be the guy who put young players in line.
Yeah, and they took care of Nick Collison. Like they were like, okay, we want you to be like the guy here. You're obviously not going to be the man, but you're going to be the guy.
Yeah.
And Kendrick, I don't. It's just like way too early to say really anything about anybody or anything at all. Stats, people, anything. But if Kenrich stayed for a decade, like it's not unreasonable to think that Kenrich could have his jersey up in the rafters too, just like Nick Collison. It's not an unreasonable.
Well, if that happens, it means that he did something very good with the team, like Nick, which is what we want.
I think it's totally possible. I think it's totally possible. All right, that's all we got. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you're on the stream, lots of people on the stream today. Thanks so much for joining us. And try to get through some names. Enjoy the Clippers game tonight, guys. Tonight, you can root for the Thunder, which was fun. Let's see. Rog Thor is here. No Limit. James Anderson. Dude Buffet. Jacoby King is here. Let's see. Dave Parrott is here. Josh Smith. Lawrence Field. Yanni. Carlos Muniz is here. Midnight is here. Jay Smooth, Austin North, Spencer Smith. Let's see who else joined us. Appreciate it, guys. If you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, you can subscribe. There's always conversations going on throughout the podcast. You may even make the podcast. Josh Smalley from Ethiopia is here. Leonardo is in the chat. Jeremy Weller. Guys, I know my connection has been just garbage this whole time, and I can't figure out why. So I do apologize. There's lots of talk about that in the chat. Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll be figuring that out after we hop off of here. Anyways, Alex Bullerjack, my guy, White Black, is here. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Hope you guys enjoy your Monday. Luke Sewell. And we will talk to you guys again. Green Light, Chad Scott in Yukon, 666 Felix 420, Frank Turman. Thanks so much for joining. We'll talk to you guys again on Wednesday. Oh, before we go, before we go, got to buy your tickets to November 15th. Go check that out. Down to Dunk Twitter page. We're doing Down to Dunk night at the arena. It's going to be super crazy fun. You can still buy tickets, sit with us, go do a half-court shot after the game. If you make your half-court shot, you get a super-duper prize from the Thunder, and we're going to take a big down-to-dunk group picture. So, be there or be square. All right. Talk to you guys again on Wednesday.